day 16 of the penalty phase for the Parkland school shooter as the defense enters day 2 of their case in chief. Nikolas Cruz has admitted to killing 17 people on Valentine's Day back in 2018. The jury's decision in this, whether to send him to Florida's death row or recommend that he get a sentence of life in prison without parole. The focus now shifts to to his family and his mental challenges growing up. And the defense is starting it from the very beginning. They say that he is a product of an unhealthy environment which led him down the wrong path. The defense has just called its second witness of the day. Her name is Patricia Devaney-Westerlind. She's a former neighbor of Linda Cruz. That's the adopted mother of Nikolas Cruz. Let's go back into court.
Good morning, Ms. Devaney. Is that what you want me to call you? Because I called you Devaney and then you just said Westerlind, so I want to call you what you want to be called.
Trish.
Trish. Okay, fair enough. Thank you for being here. If you are comfortable, you can take your mask off. If you don't want to, you don't have to, okay? Can you please tell me where you live now?
In New Jersey.
Okay.
Red Bank, New Jersey.
I'm sorry?
Red Bank, New Jersey.
And how long have you lived in New Jersey?
Since 2008.
Okay. And was there a point when you lived in Florida?
Yes, 1998.
Okay. And when did you leave Florida?
2008.
Okay. Okay. And when you lived in Broward County, do you remember where you initially lived?
Parkland.
Okay. And was that off of Northwest 80th Terrace?
Yes.
Okay. And who were you living with?
Well, I was engaged
Okay.
to Noel.
Okay. And who is Noel?
Well, we got married.
Okay.
We have kids, and now we're divorced. My ex-husband.
Okay. So when you first moved to Northwest 80th Terrace, it was just the two of you?
Yes.
Okay. And about how old were you when you first moved to Florida? And I know it's a guesstimate, so.
No, I know. I would say probably 23.
Okay. And did you have any friends or family here in Broward County?
I had moved down with a girlfriend, and after a month she went back, and I had met Noel, so I wanted to stay.
Okay. So no family?
No.
Okay. And any friend you met would be a new friendship, is that seem accurate?
Yes.
Okay. Did you ever become friends with a woman by the name of Linda Cruz?
Yes.
Okay. Do you know where Linda Cruz lived in relation to where you lived?
Yes.
Okay. What street did she live on?
Northwest 80th Terrace.
I'm sorry?
Northwest 80th Terrace.
Okay. And is that a neighborhood or just a street?
It was a street. She lived about 3 or 4 houses down on the opposite side.
May I approach the witness, Your Honor?
You may.
Trish, I'm going to show you what has been previously marked for identification purposes as R. Ma'am, do you recognize that photo?
This is Roger and Linda Cruz's home.
Okay.
I'm sorry?
Roger and Linda Cruz's house.
Thank you.
Okay. And does that house and that photograph of that house accurately reflect how you remember the house back in 1989?
Yes, it does.
Okay. Your Honor, the defense moves into evidence what has previously been marked as R for identification.
Is there any objection by the state?
No, Judge, I believe Ms. Nikolas is 1980.
Thank you. It's 1989. I'm sorry. Is that correct?
1988.
I'm sorry?
98.
I'm sorry, 1998. Is that when you lived there?
Yeah, didn't I say that?
I had it wrong.
I'm sorry. Okay.
All right, what's been marked for identification as defense R will be received as defense 14.
And all of the houses that were on that street, or were they similar to that style and the build and the square footage?
There were, from where I was, there were about 4 empty lots across the street. It was really getting built up at that time. The lots went from so Linda had like a bunch of empty lots. They were mostly 2-acre lots.
So these were all new build homes?
No, the first like 9 houses were from the 70s.
Okay. Did you and your husband build a home?
No, we didn't. Linda and Roger did.
Okay. And did you go inside of her home?
Yes.
Okay. And how did she take care of her house?
She had OCD.
I'm sorry?
She had OCD. Her house was immaculate.
Okay.
Beautiful.
And what type of a friendship did you develop with Linda? How did you guys meet? How did that work?
Well, it was kind of odd because I was 23 and Linda was 49. But as I said, I had no friends really besides Noel. And I got pregnant and she was adopting. So we really became close because we had babies the same age.
Okay. And can you describe what kind of a person Linda was?
Very loving, caring, motherly. When I moved down there and I found out I was pregnant, of course I was nervous. I had no family there, and she was always there for me.
She helped you out, kind of like a mother?
Always.
Okay. And did you ever have an opportunity to meet Roger Cruz?
I actually met Roger first.
Okay. Tell me about that.
When I moved into Noel's house, all he had was a couch and TV and a bed and a TV. It was like a bachelor pad. So I was getting rid of anything, like some of his stuff. And Roger stopped by and said, "Oh my God, my wife loves garage sales. When I get back from my walk, I'm going to send her down."
So is that what started to become a friendship of how many years?
Even though I moved away, you know, you have a friend like you can not talk to for a while, but when you talk to them, it's like, you know, you still have that connection.
Okay. So how many years do you think you guys lived on the same street together?
Well, we moved, but we only moved to Cypress Head, which is about 5 minutes away.
Okay.
I think we moved 98, 99. Like 4 years on Linda Street.
So when you guys were on the same street together, how often were you together?
Monday through Friday usually,
Okay.
sometimes Saturday.
Okay. And did you guys ever go out together socially?
She liked to go to consignment stores, food shop. We would food shop together. Mostly, she would bring the babies down.
So it was like a.
I had like a huge, like mess of toys and, you know, big playroom. So she would bring the boys down.
When you and Linda were hanging out together, did you ever see her drink alcohol?
A handful of times.
Okay. Never appeared to be a problem
Never.
based on what you could see?
No.
Okay. So, can you tell me a little bit about the relationship that Roger and Linda had based on your observations?
Very loving. He was much older. He was 60. She was 49. So, you know, he'd flirt with her, and they were just, it was like they finally found, like, their soulmates.
Did Linda tell you that she was married?
Yes.
Okay. Did you later find out that they were not married?
Yes, I did.
Okay. Did that surprise you?
Yes, because she was my maid of honor.
Okay. So she was your maid of honor in your wedding. Do you remember what year you got married?
I believe it was 2001.
Okay. So, when you first meet Linda, does she have any children?
No.
Okay. And you find out what? That she was going to adopt a child? Does she talk to you about that at all?
Yes.
Okay. Tell me what she tells you about the adoption, or what her and Roger plan to do.
She had tried to have kids for years. She had problems having kids. She also had a problem having an adoption when her and Roger were together up in New York. She did babysit Roger's adult children's kids. She also had a niece living with her.
So, have you been, or are you in contact with any of Roger's kids from his
I
first
talked
marriage?
to one of his daughters, yes.
Okay. Still today?
Yes.
Okay. And it was your understanding that Linda had a relationship with those 4 kids?
Yes,
And they were all adults by the time Nikolas was born. Is that your understanding?
yes,
Okay. So she told you that she was going to adopt a child?
yes.
Did she tell you anything about how she was going about that adoption?
Because of her age, I guess she had found out from somebody else. She was going through a lawyer, a private adoption.
Oh, it was a private adoption. Okay. Did she ever talk about the process of the adoption or how that was going to work or anything like that?
She would pay the birth mother's living expenses she would pay the attorney,
Okay.
and he would pay the birth mother's living expenses.
Did you ever have any conversations with Linda about the birth mother?
Yes.
Okay. Tell me about those conversations.
Well, some were after
After what?
Nikolas,
Okay. After he was born?
because she got pregnant again and was called to see if she wanted to adopt another kid from the same mother.
So let me make sure I understand that. You got information about the birth mother after Nikolas was born
Yes.
because the birth mother was having another child.
Yeah, and I also, Linda would tell me that the birth mother had a young daughter,
Okay.
and she was also, they had agreed upon whatever, and the birth mother kept telling Linda her young daughter would need more stuff, and you know what I mean? The price went up
I
and
don't
up.
know what you mean. Help me
Okay.
understand.
So I guess they had an agreed amount.
Money
Yeah.
to give the adopted mother?
Yes.
Under the birth mother?
Yes.
Okay. And so are you involved in Linda's life when she's waiting for Nikolas to arrive?
I just remember that Roger was putting his foot down, that there was going to be no more money going out, like that the mom was kind of a con artist type person.
So Roger Cruz was saying to Linda,
We have an agreement, and
okay,
it's going on a little past, but then it was being pushed more and more.
okay. So you got the impression from Linda.
She is the neighbor of the couple that adopted Nikolas Cruz. We're going to get a break in here and get you back into the courtroom for more testimony. It's the defense case in Florida versus Nikolas Cruz. Stay with us.
9 now.
We've been watching testimony this morning on Nikolas Cruz's early childhood as the defense continues to present its case in the penalty phase for the Parkland school shooter. Cruz pled guilty to first-degree murder for fatally shooting 17 people at Marjorie Stoneman Douglas High School in Parkland, Florida. Now, a jury must decide his fate: life in prison without the possibility of parole or the death penalty. On the stand now is a neighbor of the defendant when he was a baby and a toddler. Her name is Patricia Devaney-Westerlind. Let's get you back into court.
So you got the impression from Linda that the birth mother was a con artist? Is that what you just said?
Kind of.
Okay. So did she tell you anything else about the birth mother?
Yeah, she said that, I don't know if, she said that the birth mother was being drug tested
Okay.
randomly throughout the pregnancy.
Okay. Do you know, or did Linda ever tell you why she was being drug tested?
No.
Okay. Did she tell you anything else about the mom?
Yes, after she got the call that she was pregnant again, the mother was in prison, she said.
Okay. So that's Zachary.
Yes.
Okay. So let's talk about before Zachary is born. Do you, when Linda gets Nikolas, do you become pregnant?
Yes, I do.
Okay. And that would be your first child?
Yes.
Okay. And that's a girl or a boy?
It's a girl. Her name is Caitlin.
Okay.
They were about 6 or 7 months apart.
Okay. May I have a moment, please?
You may.
Your Honor, may I approach the witness, please?
You may.
Tricia, I'm going to show you some photographs that have been marked for identification purposes
Okay,
only. I
sure.
want you to tell me if you recognize them. You don't have to tell me what they are yet, okay? This is defense S. Do you recognize this photograph?
Yes, I do.
And does this photograph accurately represent the people that you knew back in the time that you lived in Parkland, Florida?
Yes.
I'm going to show you what has been marked for identification purposes as T.
Yes.
Do you recognize that photograph?
Yes, I do.
Okay. And do you recognize the person in the photograph?
Yes, I do.
And does that photograph accurately reflect the person in the photograph at the time you would have known them?
Absolutely.
I'm going to show you what has previously been marked for identification as U. Do you recognize the individuals in that photograph?
Yes.
Okay. And do those individuals in that photograph, or does this photograph accurately reflect the individuals that you knew at that time period?
Yes.
Defense V for identification. Do you recognize the individuals in that photograph?
Yes.
Same questions. Do they appear to be, this
Yes.
photograph accurately represent the individuals in that photograph at the time that you remember them?
Yes.
Identification W. Do you recognize this photograph?
Yes, I do.
And does that photograph accurately, does this photograph accurately describe the individuals in the photograph at
Yes,
the
it
time that
does.
you remember them?
Yep. I was there when those pictures were taken.
Identification, defense for identification Y. Do you recognize that photograph?
Yes, I do.
Same questions. Do the individuals in this photograph, do you recognize them?
Yes.
Okay, and do you recall that this photograph represents the time period that it was taken?
Yes, I do.
Identification Z. Same questions. Do you recognize the individuals in this photograph?
I do.
Okay. Identification 1A. Do you recognize this photograph?
Yes, I do.
Do you recognize the individual in this photograph?
I know exactly where it was taken.
Okay. Identification 1D. Do you recognize that photograph?
Yes, I do.
Do you recognize the individuals in that photograph?
Yes, I do.
This photograph accurately reflect the individuals as you remember them when that period, when the photo was
Yes,
taken?
absolutely.
Identification 1B. Do you recognize that photograph?
Yes, I do.
And do you recognize the individual in the photograph?
Yes.
And does this photograph accurately reflect the individual at the time the photograph was taken?
Yes.
Judge, the defense is seeking to introduce those photographs if you want to distribute them into evidence.
State, do you have any objection to the courts receiving these exhibits into evidence? Okay, without objection. It's okay. Without objection, what's been marked for identification as defense S will be received as 15, T will be received as 16, U will be received as 17, V will be received as 18, W will be received as 19, Y will be received as 20, Z 21, 1A like Alpha 22, 1B like Bravo 23, and 1D like Delta 24.
While the clerk marks those, I'm just going to ask you some other questions and then
Of
we'll get
course.
back to the photographs. Excuse me. What kind of mother was Linda Cruz to Zachary and Nikolas?
A very loving, caring mother.
Tell me what that looks like. I mean, did she dote on them? She
Absolutely. She had wanted a child, always wanted a child. So once she got Nikolas, she felt like her family was complete, and she loved babies in general. She would help me with my babies. Zachary is my son Gavin's age, and Nikolas was Caitlin's age. So when I was pregnant with Gavin, Linda would come and take Caitlin so I could take naps and like help me out after I had the baby. She cooked me like 2 months worth of food. She treated me like a daughter, kind of, or something like that.
And how was Roger with the boys?
Roger was wonderful with the boys. I mean, he had an office on State Road 7 in a condominium. And Linda was at my house with the kids so much that he actually, my husband had an office in New Jersey with about 200 employees, but it was an internet kind of company. So he offered Noel to work out of his office.
Okay. And let's talk about Nikolas as a baby.
We need to slip a commercial break in here as we approach the top of the hour.